So how did you get? So for people that haven't watched the first, people that haven't watched the first podcast,
yeah,
give me like a brief synopsis of your whole case, and then like the end of it. Like what happened at the end to where you got to where you are now.
Sure. So 2009, I walked into a UPS store, and there were 2 Secret Service agents waiting on me. The elderly gentleman who ran the UPS store took it upon himself to open one of my packages and find what I was sending out, which he wasn't supposed to do. He was supposed to contact the Postmaster General. The Postmaster General was, has the authority to come and open my mail once it's been sealed. So that right there got 12 years knocked off my sentence. 12 or 13 years knocked off my sentence. They had to get rid of basically everything. Any of the evidence that they got, because that's how they, you know what I mean?
Because they got it from a fraudulent way, basically. You got to throw all of that out, right?
Yeah.
Whatever was found from that process.
Gone. So all the credit cards gone, all the equipment gone, all the mail fraud. The only thing that could actually stick on me was the aggravated identity theft, because I did have somebody else's driver's license with my picture on it. So I got the aggravated identity theft, which carries a mandatory 24 months. And that's what I eventually ended up getting charged with and sentenced. And it took them 3 years to indict me. So this happened in 2009. I didn't even get picked up until 2012.
Right. They indicted you. Where were you? You were somewhere in the Northeast, right?
I was in Tampa. I was here in Tampa when I got picked up. I got fucking went to Hillsborough County Jail, and then they shipped me out to St. Pete, and I sat in St. Pete until they could extradite me all the way down to South Carolina to where I could see a judge.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you went from South Carolina back to Miami, right?
Because I live here, they wanted to send me to prison in my home state.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why I ended up doing all my time in Ocala, up in at Coleman, where I subsequently met Matt and wrote the book and everything. But yeah. So then I served my time. I did my 24 months. I get out, and I'm in halfway house in Miami, and then I did my halfway house, did my 6 months halfway house. But it's like, when I got out of prison, I didn't have anything. Like, all of my shit had somehow magically fucking just vanished and disappeared. I had no clothes, no shoes. All my jewelry was gone. Everything was fucking gone. You know, my wife, I don't know. She fucking, barely speaks English. It's just like, it's just ridiculous. So I'm coming home to shit. I'm getting into a halfway house with shit. I was wearing prison sweatpants, prison fucking Nikes, and that's all I had. I didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
And so I had to get a job. I had to work for 6 months for $9 an hour, and somehow they were taking like 30% of my net income before taxes. The halfway house was, which I'm like, that's kind of a bummer, but it's better than sitting in prison. Yeah. So and I get to actually go out into the world and fucking, you know what I'm saying, like work. So that was cool. And I worked for like 6 months at the halfway house, and I saved a little bit of money. And then I got a fucking 1-bedroom. It wasn't even a 1-bedroom. It was a studio apartment in Little Havana. It was on like 20th and Flagler, right by Miami High School, right in the neighborhood I fucking grew up in, pretty much. And it was like $850 a month, which was like whatever. But it was like, dude, I didn't have a car. I didn't have no money. I'm working at a warehouse for like $11 an hour. And I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to walk from 20th and Flagler all the way downtown Miami. I had to catch the very first train that leaves the station in Miami an hour north to Hialeah to catch the very first bus leaving the bus station to go another hour to my warehouse job. And then at the end of the day, I had to do all of that all the way back over again to get home. So I was waking up at 4 in the morning, and I wasn't getting home till 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't do it. Like, I did it for like... I got out of halfway house in February, and then by June or July, I was fucking over it. I couldn't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and I was hanging out with some people that kind of knew all the money I'd made and what I had done, and they had some money that they were willing to invest, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's fucking gas up for another run. And I was like, dude, I just got out of prison for this shit, but dude, I was just like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm going to fucking... The landlord's going to come in, and they're going to find me stinking and fucking swinging from the fucking ceiling in this shithole apartment. And that's going to be my life. And I'm just like, no. So if I have to risk going back to prison to get myself out of the situation, then that's just what I'm going to do. And I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my mindset. Shit went south almost immediately. Some shit got sent to my house that wasn't supposed to get sent to my house. And then, the fucking Miami financial crimes fucking unit was at my apartment asking me a bunch of questions. Shit went fucking south, and I ended up going back on the run, absconding from on probation and going back on the run. I took off out to Nebraska because my wife disappeared, and she calls me from Nebraska, and she's got my son. She wanted me to come out there and help her with my son, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm on the run right now. She didn't know I was on the run. Like, fuck, all this shit just went down. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go hide out in the cornfields, because there isn't shit in Nebraska but corn and cattle. You know what I mean? That's it. There's nothing out there.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect fucking place for me to go out there and lay low and kind of, just figure things out. So I go out to Nebraska, and that just turned into a fucking absolute shit show. My wife was fucking, she was on drugs, and the whole thing was just fucking bad. It was all bad. So somehow, the cops ended up coming to my house because off of some shit that had absolutely nothing to do with me. Like, somebody broke into somebody's trailer, and for some reason they put me in it. You know what I mean? Like, they said I had something to do with it. And, like, I had nothing to do with any of it. It's just fucking bad luck. So the cops come to my house wanting to ask me questions. And, of course, they're going to run me. You know what I mean? They're going to run me when they get there, and I had a warrant, so I went. So I had to go back in front of the judge. You know what I mean? So then I had to get extradited all the way back out to fucking South Carolina from Nebraska, which took another 3.5 months. You know what I mean? Going on Con Air, and then, Oklahoma holding facility, and fucking, back in Atlanta.
You were in holding facilities across the country for 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No commissary, because you're in the shoe, because you're only going to be there for a week or 2 or 3 before they fucking ship you back out again. So you don't get commissary. You know what I mean? They barely fucking feed you, so it was bad, man. So yeah, I get back in front of the judge, and she gave me, by the time I got in front of the fucking judge, I had already done almost 9 months. It took me damn near fucking, God, was it really that long? I think it was like 6 months or something it took me to get back in front of the judge, because for whatever reason, it was my luck. I got picked up in, like, right before Thanksgiving in November. And that's the worst time to trying to get shipped around the country, is between the holidays, because, dude, they're not shipping anybody. So you might sit somewhere for a month or 2 before the next fucking bus rolls out to stick you on a plane to ship you out to Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Before you get designated and all that shit. So I finally get back in front of the fucking judge, and she says, this bitch, I think I'm getting out at this point. I'm like, okay, I just did 6 months on my violation. You know what I mean? Like, my violation in the federal system, there's different tiers of violations. You know what I mean? So my violation was like a 1,
Mm-hmm.
and it only carried like a 6-month guideline for the violation. I just did fucking 6 months. So in my mind, I'm going in front of the judge. I'm like, okay, she's gonna give me 6 months on violation, and she's gonna wave her finger at me and kick me, because that's all she can do. This bitch gave me another 30 days to think about it. Yeah, another 30 days. Your release date is 30 days from now.
Wow.
To sit and think about what you've done, you bad boy. You know what I mean? Fucking bitch. But this was the golden lining in all of it. She told me, she's like, listen, we've had to extradite you from 2 different states multiple times. She's like, you've absconded from your pretrial release before you were even sentenced. You absconded on your federal probation, which you only have 3 years of. You're not supervisable, but you're not a danger to the public either. You know what I mean? Because I don't have any violence in my history. I'm not a raper or a fucking stabber or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. So I really wasn't a risk. So I mean, apparently this is my takeaway from it. She told me I'm not supervisable, but I'm not a threat to the community either. So 30 more days, and we're gonna go ahead and just kill your paper. And they fucking kicked me out the door with no probation or no fucking nothing, dude. Just a free man. I was like, woohoo!
That's
You know
nice.
what I mean? Dude, I was like, fuck yeah. So it was kind of good that I violated my probation and went back and did the 6 months. Or else I would have been on fucking paper for 3 more years.
How many more people have you heard of that's happened to?
Nobody.
Nobody, right?
Nobody. I've never heard that happen to fucking anybody.
No.
I know.
Because there's tons of people that are locked up for nonviolent shit, selling little bits of weed here and there, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Stupid drug charges.
Yeah. I fucking